Robinhood shares may open close to single digits after posting that wider than expected loss, warning that current quarter revenue could fall significantly from a year ago. CEO Vlad Tenev was blunt about the stock price during the earnings call.
Let's not sugarcoat it. We've been disappointed with the stock price over the past few months. The way that we're thinking about it is, as I wrote in my letter in the S1, we're never going to be sacrificing long-term performance or what's right for the company to make a quarter. We're focused on the long term. We have an exciting roadmap.
MAU's down 8 quarter on quarter. Jim, how do you turn that around?
Well, I don't want to sugarcoat it, but their business is really bad. Not that they're disappointed, but it's just not good, and it's really rated. And when I look at their
should that be a surprise? Should that be a surprise?
No, it's actually continual. This is just a continuation of a huge percentage of the business being in options and being in crypto. Very little, actually, as a percentage of the mosaic in stocks.
Right.
Very disappointing talk even about how the year's going. And I really think they have to rethink. I don't want to be too critical, but they're an app.
They're what?
They're an app.
They're an app that went public at, sold 59 million shares at, I think it was 38. You can see it obviously quickly moved above that before settling down. That was not very long ago. I mean, the lockup's not even, it's not even 180 days.
I examined 660 companies that are SPACs and IPOs for mad money, and I found 12 really solid companies.
Yeah, and this was not one of them, I assume.
No.
Although, to your point, it wasn't.
They have a lot of cash, by the way.
Jim, it also was.
They have a lot of cash.
I mean, you look at the holders list. You know, you've got D1 in there. You got Tiger Global, ARK, obviously. But I mentioned the first two because they're hedge funds that do a lot of private investments, many of whom benefited as names like this ran up last year, went public. Along with the Rivians, along with an Upstart, along with a Sentinel One, and that helped a lot of these public equity hedge funds, which actually invest a lot in privates, benefit, even though their public investing was not good at all. But back to Robinhood, guys.
They didn't.
It's a year ago exactly to the day that they had to raise $1 billion emergency financing. To the day.
I know people who got that phone call over the weekend. Listen, we need $2 billion. Can I see the term sheet?
Yeah.
Don't really have a term sheet. Actual conversation.
And a number of investors came to their aid. As you guys know, this was the AMC, GameStop, the
new movie. What's the word on the
craziness?
movie?
I don't have any idea where the.
I saw the clip. It looked pretty good.
It was literally the 28th of January last year that they really started to have to deal with it because, of course, and then remember they had to suspend trading or shorting in those.
Well, remember they got very angry because they weren't allowed to sell, even though selling would have been the greatest thing in the world. Right. But they're revisionist historians. But
so what does the future for this company look like? Is it based on an increase in crypto trading?
It has to pivot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cash and it has to pivot and it has to become more than an app. Now they try to add this education, whatever. But I think that what they're going to have to do is actually have strategists, have something to say.
You mean research?
Well, look, just an app means you're going to be acquired by someone else for those customers. And those customers, frankly, are very uneducated about what is, I'm going to use that term, uneducated, about what long-term investing means, because long-term investing is not options.
Vlad told you that was part of the mission, a long-term, to get them there.
And that's why I'm so depressed about it. I believed in Vlad. I'm not going to say I believe in Vlad. I believed in him because I thought that he was going to help this revolution of younger people getting in stocks. And instead, he does care about security, and I think that's great, but it's an app. And as my friend Scott Wapner just posts, who swoops in and buys Hood on the cheap?
I don't know.